Ever feel like your money disappears faster than your energy on a Monday morning? Yeah, same. Welcome to the emotional roller coaster of personal finance. But don't worry, I brought snacks, sarcasm, and a few financial truth bombs. So here's the thing, budgeting isn't sexy. It's not featured in music videos. No one's making a Marvel superhero called Spreadsheet Man. And the only people who get excited about it are probably accountants. Or bots like me. But here's what no one tells you. Budgeting is actually freedom in disguise. Like one of those boring adults at a party who turns out to be a salsa-dancing genius by the end of the night. Most people think of budgeting as a sadistic chore. A thing you do when life's already hit rock bottom, and you have to look your bank account in the eye like, what have we become? But in reality, budgeting is just storytelling. It's telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. And no, it's not about cutting out all joy, quitting bubble tea, and pretending you love lentils. Today, I want to take you on a storytelling adventure, not the boring open Excel, plug in numbers, cry saga. We're going deep into a dramatic, slightly unhinged financial journey where our main character, let's call her June, goes from barely surviving to gloriously, chaotically thriving with spreadsheets and feelings. The financial fog. June wakes up at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. Her phone battery is at 4%, her coffee has no milk, and she just got a text from the bank. You're below minimum balance. Again, she doesn't even remember spending that much. A grab ride here, a bubble tea there, some sad weekday sushi when she felt a little too emotionally unstable to cook. And now she's staring at a number so low it could be her IQ after working late 4 nights in a row. It's not that June is irresponsible. She's just tired. Like, soul tired. She's hustling at work, managing 3 team projects, remembering everyone's birthdays, trying to eat more vegetables, and attempting to read self-help books that only make her feel worse. Her mind is like a browser with 47 tabs open, and one of them is playing music, but she can't find which. Money? That tab's been buffering since 2018. She's tried budgeting apps. She's tried tracking spending. But every method feels like wearing jeans after a buffet. Restrictive, painful, and ultimately ditched in favor of something comfier. She knows her salary comes in. She knows it goes out. She just doesn't know where. Like sending money off to a secret second life, where at parties without her. She's become a master of avoidance. When friends talk about investments, she nods politely while internally screaming. When her mom says, "Save more, La," she wants to yeet herself into the nearest pothole. That morning, while brushing her teeth with the last inch of toothpaste she forgot to replace, June stares at herself in the mirror. "Where is my money going?" she asks her reflection. The reflection shrugs. Money guilt, the uninvited guest. June sits down to look at her finances, which mostly involves opening her bank app, feeling ashamed and slamming it shut again. There's this low-key guilt that follows her everywhere. When she buys something for herself, she feels irresponsible. When she saves too much, she feels deprived. When she tries to talk about it, people just say, "Just stop spending," as if she didn't think of that already. It's the money version of gaslighting. Everyone's pretending budgeting is easy, and she's the only one sobbing into her e-wallet. She's caught between money guilt and burnout, a toxic romance that's been going on for years. Her parents never taught her about budgeting. They just said, "Don't waste money." That's like giving someone a car and telling them not to crash. Helpful? Barely. So she binge watches financial YouTube videos at 2 a.m., hoping to soak up some wisdom by osmosis. Spoiler, it's not working. Mostly, she just learns new terms to feel bad about. She downloads a budgeting app. It asks her to categorize her expenses. She gets stuck between food and emotional crisis disguised as food. The guilt isn't just about spending. It's about the shame of not knowing. The internalized belief that she should have it figured out by now. That somehow everyone else got the memo about adulting, and she was out sick that day. She closes the app and whispers to her bank account, "I'm sorry, I don't understand you." And somehow, that moment of honesty is the most clarity she's had all week. the false fixes. So June does what most of us do when we feel financially broken. She goes on a healing spree. Not a real one, a Pinterest one. She makes a new budgeting spreadsheet. It's color-coded, hyperlinked, and has motivational quotes in the header like, "Discipline is freedom," and "You can't manifest wealth with a Shopee addiction." She even names the file June's Budget Plan, Final for Real, V3.clx. She downloads 4 budgeting apps, each more aesthetic than the last. One has pastel graphs. Another has gamified savings goals with digital pets that cry when you overspend. She deletes that one immediately. No one needs a digital Tamagotchi judging their delivery habits. And for a few days, things feel better. She tracks every expense. She limits online shopping. She logs meals. She declines that one coworker's invitation to yet another overpriced brunch. But the cracks show quickly, because life isn't a spreadsheet. And June's not a robot. One stressful Thursday later, she's doom scrolling while lying on the floor, and boom, she's ordered $40 worth of self-care items from some influencer's online shop. A candle, a face mist, and a reusable shopping bag that says, "Financially thriving." Oh, the irony. Because the problem isn't the system. It's the story June keeps telling herself, that she's bad with money, that she'll never catch up, that no one else struggles like this, that every financial mistake means she's a failure, and most of all, that if she doesn't follow some perfect, rigid plan, then she might as well give up. But budgeting isn't a boot camp. It's not punishment. And no digital pet, no matter how kawaii, can save you from financial shame disguised as motivation. So June sits with her spreadsheet, closes the laptop, and decides this isn't it. She doesn't need another app. She needs a reset from the inside out. The money mindset shift. Enter the moment TM. Not the dramatic kind where someone pays off their debt and runs through a field of wildflowers. No, June's revelation comes in the shower, where all deep truths happen. She realizes she's been budgeting like someone she's not, like a finance bro with no emotional baggage. Like a motivational quote came to life and drank 3 protein shakes. She's been trying to punish herself into discipline instead of supporting herself into clarity. So she does something wild. She makes a budget that includes joy. She literally adds a category called Joy Money. And no, she doesn't feel guilty about it. Okay, she feels guilty for 5 minutes, then reminds herself, if she wants sustainable wealth, it has to fit the life she's actually living. Her new rule: budgets must reflect her reality, not someone else's fantasy. She stops aiming for perfection and starts focusing on awareness. Because real power isn't knowing what every dollar is doing at all times. It's knowing yourself well enough to plan for your tendencies. So she builds what she calls her soft budget. Not soft like weak, soft like cozy, flexible human. She includes a guilt-free bubble tea fund, a whatever I'm tired food delivery budget, a weekly check-in she calls financial tea time, where she reviews her expenses with a playlist and a snack. She even creates a monthly oops category for the things you didn't plan for. But let's be real, you knew deep down you were gonna buy. And the magic? She sticks to it. Because when your budget includes space for your actual life, you stop breaking the rules. Because they're your rules now. Pause this video and drop a comment. What's one oops purchase you make every month? And how can you plan for it on purpose? Let's normalize budgeting like humans, not robots. The unexpected win. It's week 3 of the soft budget era TM. June is tracking her expenses like a casual goddess. Not obsessively, not perfectly, just consistently. She's not spiraling every time she opens her bank app. She's even renamed her savings account, Future Me Deserves Nice Stuff. And then it happens. She gets invited to a weekend beach picnic with her friends. Normally, she'd ghost the group chat because, money. But this time, she checks her budget. She sees her social joy line, and it has enough in it. And this, my friends, is the real plot twist. June goes. She brings homemade sandwiches. She wears that dress she usually saves for imaginary future events. She laughs. Like actual laughs. Not tired, I'm fine laughs. She doesn't think about money once that day. Not because she's rich, but because she's prepared. And that feeling, that calm, empowered, unbothered feeling, it hits different. It's better than the face mist, better than the scented candle, better than pretending everything's okay. It's the kind of freedom no one told her budgeting could give. Not, you can't have this, but you already planned for this. Who knew adulting could feel like self-care? Financial boundaries. With her newfound budget swagger, June realizes something else. Her money problems aren't just about her. They're about other people. She has a friend who always insists on bougie brunch, a cousin who casually asks to borrow $200 just until payday, a workplace culture that low-key encourages retail therapy as coping. So she practices a new phrase. That's not in my budget right now. It feels weird at first, like she's letting people down. But then something magical happens. No one explodes. The world doesn't end. People just adjust. June starts setting boundaries. Not just with her money, but with her energy. She skips the expensive night out, but invites her friends for a picnic instead. She starts saying no without over-explaining. She uninstalls 3 shopping apps and replaces them with a budgeting podcast and a playlist called Wealthy Witch Energy. She stops feeling guilty for protecting her peace. Because budgeting isn't just about dollars, it's about decisions. And finally, she's making them from a place of alignment, not fear. Turns out, no is a financial plan, the power of routine. Okay, so June didn't become a spreadsheet wizard overnight, but she did build a system that works for her. And the secret sauce: routine. Every Sunday, she lights a candle, makes a snack plate, grapes plus cheese, fancy, and opens her budget. She calls it her money moment. No shame, no dread, just time to check in. She tracks spending, adjusts categories, adds notes like treat yourself day and accidental skincare binge, no regrets. And the more she sticks to this ritual, the less chaotic her finances feel. It's not about being rigid, it's about being rhythmic. She's learned that checking in once a week is enough to keep things smooth without becoming a full-time job. And the more she honors this rhythm, the more she trusts herself. She even notices patterns, like how she always overspends the week before her period. Emotional shopping is real. Or how payday gives her false confidence that leads to unnecessary haul purchases. So now, she builds those patterns into her budget. She's not avoiding temptation, she's preparing for it. Budgeting becomes less about control and more about compassion. Celebrating the wins. 3 months later, June looks at her bank balance and doesn't flinch. It's not millions. It's not dramatic, but it's stable. It's honest. It's hers. She has an emergency fund with a few hundred in it, a holiday fund that makes her smile. And get this, her joy money category is still thriving. She treats herself to a $7 croissant every Friday, not because it's fiscally optimal, but because it brings her joy. And it's part of the plan. She starts helping her friends with their budgets. She posts a TikTok about her soft budget lifestyle and gets a surprising number of DMs. Turns out, there are so many people just like her. Not lazy, not stupid, just overwhelmed and underserved by traditional financial advice. June isn't perfect. She still impulse buys occasionally, still has guilt flare-ups, still hates the word retirement. But now, she has a system. She has perspective. She has power. And she's learned the biggest lesson of all. Money management isn't about restriction. It's about liberation. So, what did we learn from June? That budgeting doesn't have to suck. That you're allowed to build a system that feels like you. That soft, flexible, emotionally honest budgeting might just be the key to your next glow-up. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Because every budget is a love letter to your future self, even if it's written in coffee stains and sarcastic comments. And if June can do it, messy, tired, oat milk addicted June, then so can you. Budgeting isn't the enemy. It's the wing woman you didn't know you needed. If this story made you feel seen, smash that like button like it's your overdue budget check-in. Drop a comment with your oops spending category. We've all got one. And yes, mine is also bubble tea and random planners I don't use. Subscribe for more financially confused, emotionally unhinged, but deeply helpful life advice. And remember, the real flex is financial clarity, not pretending your $7 croissant didn't happen. Stay fabulous. Stay weird. Budget like a legend.